Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at criticalblast.com, and we are back after taking a night off. We don't take nights off, but I did last night. I was catching up on a couple of seasons of Criminal Minds, if you must know. I've gotten hooked on this Netflix thing since I've been stuck in the basement for going on 7 months now with COVID shut down here on the Illinois side of St. Louis. So there's apparently a lot of television out there I haven't watched, and it's finding me. But tonight we are back in business, and we are going to talk about more crowdfunded comics. And tonight joining us, we have G.A. Lungaro. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I usually ask first.
Yeah, that works. G.A. Lungaro.
We are both Flash fans, but only one of us is obviously Green Arrow. So
yes.
and looking at your Kickstarter over here now, this is a kind of a different sort of crowdfund than we usually have. Yours is finished, but we're still sort of the in-demand phase of it, where you can still buy the book before it gets published, which is very, very cool. So tell us a little bit about it's Isidora and the Immortal Chains.
Correct.
And if I show this on the screen here, and I'm going to do that, add to the stream, and I just want to bring it up here real quick, because my first major question is, what spells did you have to chant to revive the body of Michael Turner?
It's a very simple spell. DM Samantha Branch and ask her to do a cover.
Okay. Because I swear to God, if you were to just put a gun to my head and say, identify this artist, I'd be going, it's Michael Turner, it's Michael Turner.
Yeah. Yes. Samantha is a big fan of Michael Turner, and it was a big influence on her art. So when I saw her art, I'm like, it's for one of this cover that you see. I use it as a poster child. It's the variant A cover for it, but I loved her art so much. I'm like, I gotta have her do this cover, because I wanted this cover to be swagger, power, all that in one, and she captured that beautifully.
It's definitely that, and not just the figure, but the background, the detail that goes into those columns and the vanishing perspective. You don't see a lot of background work in comics these days. It's always up against some sort of pale white,
color gradient.
Yeah, laziness. It's the lazy color. Is what I call it. So tell us a little bit about Isidora. I mean, why are you making a comic in the first place? Is my first question.
Sure. I mean, I'm the writer. So everyone knows, I had all the wonderful artwork you see. I commissioned out to do the covers and the sequential and all that other stuff. And we'll get into the artists. I want to give them all the credit that they're due. I'm a writer by trade. I've always wanted to be a writer since I was young. I actually did my first fantasy novel, which is a part of a series last year on Kickstarter that was successful, Souls of Magic's Dawn. And that was a 100K novel. It took me 15 years to get all completely how I wanted it to be. And I've always been a comic book fan, obviously, as well, since I was young. DC guy mostly. Flash is my favorite. And guys, it is complete coincidence. We did not plan this. It's a complete coincidence.
Anybody who's watched my channel knows I never come in with a plan.
Yeah. Complete coincidence. I mean, I have a flash ring here and then so nothing to do with that. But yeah. So I'm a big DC fan, and I like Marvel too as well. But comic books, I've always loved comic books, and as far as wanting to be a writer, writing a comic book was also a dream of mine to do as well. So after I did this book and after I completed that, I was starting to work on the next book, and I'm like, this is going to take me a while. I'm like, you know what? Let me try my hat at a comic book. I've wanted to do it, and a 24-page floppy is like, well, it doesn't seem like it'd be too hard. I talked to some people who've done it, and I found a friend of mine helped me find a program called Writer's Duet, which actually made it really easy. If anyone's writing comic books and you haven't seen Writer's Duet, take a look at it. It makes writing like super easy for it. And I just started typing, and I've always loved Lovecraft. This comic book is heavily Lovecraft inspired. I'm not going to say it's a pastiche. It's not a Lovecraft pastiche or anything like that, but it's heavily influenced by Lovecraft. A lot of the major characters are Lovecraftian kind of characters, and the old ones and stuff like that. So I, was heavily influenced with Lovecraft, and I wanted to take this horror Lovecraft element and put it together with capes with superheroes, and try to make this world that I call Lovecraftian dark heroverse out of it. So I took all that stuff, started writing it, and a couple days later, I had a script for a 24-page comic book for first in the series. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. And
Very cool.
Yeah, I sent it out to an editor, had them look at it, and then started hiring the artists.
Well, you've got my attention. I mean, any guy named Randolph Carter is going to want to know something about a new Lovecraft novel. And if you were coming out with Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff, I'd be like, well, any guy named John Carter is going to want to know
John
about
Carter
stuff. So I got it coming and going both ways.
Yeah. That little John Carter reference at the beginning. I don't know if you've seen Lovecraft Country on HBO.
I haven't yet.
Been watching that. Oh, it's really good. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but like in the very opening episode of the first scene, there's the John Carter reference in the very beginning of it.
Well, I guess like in the whole Wold Newton theory of interconnected characters, I think one is the ancestor of the other. I don't know which direction it goes. Probably, well, I would have to say that John Carter was probably the grandfather to Randolph Carter.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff. Like I said, the main, it's not even main character, but who Isidora was in service to is the King in Yellow. And the King in Yellow has evolved and changed so many times throughout literature. It started with Chambers, with his plays, and then Lovecraft picked it up and did his thing with it. And then we've seen it everywhere. I mean, we saw it in that that murder mystery. What was it True Detectives? First season of True Detectives mentioned the King in Yellow and stuff too. So that's the one thing I love about Lovecraftian stuff is that it's an ever evolving story, right? And you have or world universe, I should say, ever evolving universe, and you have different authors and different takes on it, picking up different parts of it and just growing the mythos, and that really intrigued me.
And anybody can, doing any show, pick a Lovecraftian thing and put it in there. Almost makes you wonder if maybe there's not like the King in Yellow's a real guy, and he just kind of like says, people are remind people I'm fictional. Go out there and put me in the story.
Exactly.
But what kind of a time setting, I guess, is Isidora's time in? Because I'm looking at the picture. Obviously, it looks like ancient Greece. I'm not seeing capes. I'm not seeing Lovecraft. So the fact that it is a cape story with Lovecraftian elements will come as a complete surprise. You go in thinking, oh, this is a Wonder Woman kind of story here.
Yeah. And if you look at the other covers, I did kind of implement them in other covers. The main cover done by the sequential artist Alper Geckel. That one is you'll see the Lovecraft in that one. There's tentacles and stuff in the main cover. And then the other variant cover done by Mark Goldfein and Sarah Perryman. There's a lot of magic in that one. So I decided I split up like these different elements across three different covers to give it more of a feel that way. As far as this cover, it's ancient Rome, which is the background of this. The reason for that we have the ancient Rome background is because her character is a human, and she was born in Rome or in ancient Rome time period during the eruption of Pompeii. And that's where that's where she started her life, and then from there she ends up getting taken as the herald to the King in Yellow, keeper of the yellow sign, and so for 2,000 years she's been his herald since then. So she's immortal. The change that she has on were something given to her by the King in Yellow, which gives her a lot of power and immortality to do her service that she does for him. So she's lived for 2,000 years.
The chains are imbuing her with power.
Right. They're not just a design element to attract the eye. They actually have a purpose, and as far as her power, and it's actually a big part of her power. If the chains are somehow broken or taken away, she'll lose her immortality and a huge chunk of her power set.
That goes right back to the what I was saying about Wonder Woman, the whole Wonder Woman mythos. Yeah. Remember when if her bracelets were ever bound together by a man, would lose her powers? Right. We've lost all the cool, I have a weakness and it's something stupid, and somebody's going to be pulling it off every other issue on me.
Right.
Color yellow, wood.
Yeah. Well, Alan Scott, wood. The original Green Lantern was wood. It's like hit him with a baseball bat, he's done.
That was such a good enemy for him.
Yeah. But with hers, like I said, I do want still a level of, I don't want her to be OP, but at the same time, I do want her to have a level of power above average humans. So the chains, it's not like something like an average person can like take a bolt cutter and cut. Obviously, it takes a lot more power in it. But the creatures that she's encountering, these Lovecraftian creatures and other stuff and entities that she encounters, do have the capability of breaking those for her, and that can cause her a problem as well. So I do have a weakness built in, and there's some other stuff as well. She's still inherently human, but she's lived so far away, not being human, with this immortality given to her, that she's kind of lost her humanity. And that's where this story actually picks up. It picks up in modern day, and through a series of events, which we'll find out later, she was able to put the King in Yellow in like a hibernation state or stasis. So she's able now to travel freely and use her powers as she sees fit, instead of just feeding the old ones their souls and stuff that they want. She decided to come to Earth and use her powers as she is. So she still punishes the wicked as she sees it, but also wants to help the innocent and help save humanity from itself.
She's got a little autonomy now.
Yeah.
Sort of like a freed Silver Surfer.
Exactly. Matter of fact, the main, when I was running the campaign, the comparison I made is think Lovecraft meets Constantine meets Silver Surfer. That's the kind of feel I was going for with the character.
So with the campaign being over, it's harder for me to read. I've not read one of these before, so I'm trying to see how many pages is this book? How big is this book that people?
Since this is my first one, it's 24 pages. I wasn't going to go too big at the start because it's my first campaign, so I wanted to go with something that was manageable, because this isn't one of those campaigns where the funds are helping create the book. I paid for the book out of my pocket before we even started day one of the campaign. So I was already paid for it. And matter of fact, the book was basically completely done except for a few pages of lettering when the campaign started in August. So it was already done and paid for before we even had the campaign. So I'm basically running this campaign to not necessarily recoup the money paid for it, but just to send it to print, get it to people's hands with shipping, and hopefully maybe even pay for book 2 so we can keep this going and go on from here, because there's going to be more than one book in this series. The second one I'm planning on probably making 48 pages, a double page issue, and I'd like to do that for the next couple books after that, to where eventually it'll probably be about 4 issues, and then we could have an omnibus hardcover graphic novel of all of it.
Yeah, I bring that up frequently whenever I have crowdfunders on who are the writers and not a writer-artist team, or a writer-artist in one person, which is the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet. Because
yeah, right.
Because people will see the goal, and they need to realize that's probably the break-even point for the guy, because he's already paid the artist. They don't say, "Yeah, we'll take whatever you make on the book." No, they have a page rate and make it paid up front.
Yep.
And they don't like being stiffed.
No.
Which see the article we just published on Critical Blast about a certain terrific publishing company that has stiffed a number of artists by not publishing their work after sending them other contracts after they fulfilled the first one. And you can read all about it at criticalblast.com. But let me pull this page up here and let you walk me through some of the...
Yeah. And if you want to, you can also pull up the actual original Kickstarter page, because it has a lot of detail in there too, if you want. Now, this page here, if anyone's interested in Isidora, this is where you're going to go to pick it up, because the campaign's ended. But you can still, but it does have a link in there to view the original campaign, so you can see all the details. But yeah, sure, go right on ahead.
Well, let's look at the first physical cover here. Now, this is the I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name.
Alper Geckel.
Geckel. Okay.
Yeah, he's from Turkey.
He's got a very Frank Miller style.
Yeah. And when I chose him, because I chose him first for the sequential art, before I even got to any cover work or anything like that. I chose him for the sequential art. And if you, like I said, in the Kickstarter, you can see the pages that we've done. I liked it because it was very gritty, and I wanted this world to be gritty. I didn't want it to be clean and polished, and stuff like that. So I did it. I chose him for that reason, and he did a spectacular job as far as I'm concerned. I wanted kind of that minimalist look to it, dark and gritty feel. But yeah, it does have kind of a Frank Miller. Initially, when I told him what I was looking for is think like a Neil Gaiman Sandman kind of look. Now, he didn't emulate Sandman, but that's the idea I gave him when we went into that. And the cover reflects his artwork that he has on the inside.
Okay, so he is the interior person.
Yes. He's the interior artist. and inker and letterer, and his partner Serkan Serkaya did the colors for the sequential and that main cover.
Right. And then this is the Samantha Branch cover that
Correct.
I used as a thumbnail here. The one where I said it would look like Michael Turner had come back from the grave,
Right.
Or never went. So that's a $20. That's a big jump from the $5 to the $20, and look like it's worth every penny of it too. Just from
and the way I priced it for the 24 pages, like the because originally you couldn't get just a physical cover. Every cover came with a PDF as well. So the PDF was $5 and the main cover is $5. So together it was $10 for that. But yeah, I'm starting to pricing at $5 just for the regular cover. But yeah, for something like this with the cover that she did so much work on it. I'm like, we gotta, I gotta charge the $20 for that cover just because it's the fantastic work that she did for it.
And then of course there is the gold line cover here.
Yeah.
And this is the $30 one.
Right. And this one's amazing. And this one, the reason why this one's more too is because this is going to be a limited print run. So as far as this cover goes, whatever I sell for this campaign in this pre-order store, once that closes, other than some additional prints for the artist and a handful maybe to sell at a convention, other than that, there's going to be no more print runs of this cover. So it's going to be a limited print run only for this campaign.
All right. Now that's also the image that you used for the 11 by 17 print
right
up here.
Right. And that one is even more limited. There's only 20 total of those being done.
Okay. And then we move into the collector cards. So this is kind of cool. And these are holofoil.
They're going to be holofoil, yes.
And they're
these were done by Jay Espin.
Now, are these die cut edges here?
No. That's the those are the bleeds actually. When it comes on the card, where the chains end, that's going to be the cut of the card.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking that would be a really cool kind of.
It would be if it was die cut that way, yeah.
And we have three characters. We have Isidora. We have Migo, looks like one of the elder eldritch gods, and Detective Hallberg, who is not an elder god. Right.
And the Migo actually are like I would say more like peons to the old gods. They're creatures that are in service to them, but they're not one of the old gods. So technically they're more on her level of it, where she's in service to the old ones.
I gotcha. Now, of course, we see the tentacles at the bottom of each one as a trade dress border to the whole thing here. Those are very cool. Now, did you you hit your goal? You hit 4578 was raised on Kickstarter. Is that where it's currently at? Does that number keep going up as people buy in the?
Well, that number doesn't show the pre-order sales. So far, the pre-orders since it opened up, I'm almost at $400 in sales, and of all whatever items people are picking. Sort of about $400 of that so far. So we're actually closer to 5,000 now.
Okay, good, because I was looking at the original goal was 4,500. I was like, okay, you looks like it was a squeaker.
Yeah, it squeaked by, yeah.
So definitely, guys, hit this store up and help push that up, because again, he's not the artist; he had to pay the artist, and that means that he's probably 4,500 is probably break-even point for the three covers and the interior artwork. And what we got here, we got Souls of Magic, Dawn's paperback. Is that related to this, or is this?
That's actually my novel that I did before the comic book. It's on Amazon right now, so I was selling it at a discount if anyone wanted to, because it was one of the tiers I had called Completionist to pick up my novel and the comic book if they wanted to. Okay,
and then we got the collector's box,
which I actually have it right here.
Let me give you full screen here. What's in the box, GA?
Well, the box is going to be this was the top tier of the thing. It had basically all three covers and some prints and other stuff were going to be in the box. But since there were some people that said they really liked the box, I put it up there if people wanted to get it. Even if they only picked up like one comic book, but they wanted the collector box to put it in, I put this up there where people can add the box on as well. But Jay Espin, you can kind of tell the similarity. Jay Espin, who did the cards, also did the cover work on the box and the Rubicon Comics logo on the back as well. So collector's box is pretty cool. If people want to add it on to get all their stuff sent in with it. And when I say this is a collector's box, this is not the shipping box. I'm not going to slap a shipping label out here. This is going to go inside of another box.
Last Beat Industries asked about those cards. Asked if they were square cornered or round cornered.
I have it square cornered. I didn't ask. I already have my printer for it that's going to do those. I don't know if they have options for square or round. Personally, I think I would like round cornered. But I got to see what they have as far as if they use square or round.
All right. And this is the print we just. Oh, this is a different print. This is the Laura Branch.
The branch, yeah, that's the branch cover.
Branch print. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Laura Dupoy, I think. So this is 11 by 17. This is beautiful. I might just have to get that print.
Yeah, she did an amazing job on that.
Oh, and we also get a little bit of NSFW stuff going on here.
Yeah. It was thrown on. It was thrown on near the end of the campaign. I had some friends saying, "Hey, why don't you throw in that?" I go, the comic book itself isn't NSFW. It's not that kind of comic book. But they're like, hey, but people like seeing these things if they want. I'm going to give them an option. I'm like, you know what? What the hell? So I made a tier. I'm like, here, $500 tier. If someone wants the NSFW drawing, I'll commission an artist. And one person backed that $500 tier. So I'm like, well, I guess we're drawing this. I guess we're getting it done.
And that was a tier where they got the drawing plus some other stuff.
Plus everything else. Right. They got the whole box set as well. That's why I priced this at $350 to be faithful to that person that backed it at $500, because it would be unfair if he backed it at $500 and then I sold his print for $50. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So,
absolutely. And then of course the non-SFW version of it. She pulls the covers up a little bit.
And these were done
by
by
the same
Chuck Art, right?
So that's a $50 print. That's still not bad. $300 pull those covers back. Yeah, there are people who'll pay that.
Yeah, and these prints, by the way, the 11 by 17 prints, I already ordered and have them. I'm getting the tubes, so they're going to be put inside of a tube, not folded or anything like that, because they're going to be done with pretty heavy card stock, rolled up, put in a tube, and a tube put in a box and shipped out. So that way,
this is kind of neat because it's an a la carte kind of thing. A lot of it was tiers where it's like we get all these things together. Now you got it broken out into individual things.
Right.
One of these and one of these, two of these. And this is another print. This is the Red Leaf manga.
Manga
pinup.
Yeah, and this one, it was funny. This one, I had Red Leaf draw it for me, and I offered this as an 8 by 10 print as an early bird special, meaning anyone that backed the campaign in the first 48 hours gets an 8 by 10 of this for free. So there was only a handful of people in the first 48 hours. I think it was like 15 people or so that got this. So I'm like, you know what? Why not offer it as 11 by 17 for people if they want to buy it as well? So I'll put it up there.
She's holding her little stuffed Cthulhu.
Yeah, each of those stuffies are all different old ones in the mythos. There's a Nyarlathotep, there's a Shib Negroth in there, and yeah, they're all different Lovecraftian plushies.
Very now see, that's what you got to do. Well, somebody's already done Lovecraftian plushies, so never mind. I was going to say you'd have to make those. Now this is
those.
You have an Izzy pendant.
Pendant. Yep. And I actually have those here too somewhere. Let me see if I can find it here. It might be buried. Here we go. Yeah, a lot of these things I already had done and pre-ordered ahead of time because I was, confident in them. But it's it's a pendant.
Now this is brass plated. This is not acrylic.
Well, there's acrylic on the inside. The blue is acrylic, but yeah, it is. It's like a nickel brass metal pendant.
That's
so keep in mind, if anyone, by the way, out there does have metal allergies, do keep that in mind because it's not precious metals. So if you do have metal allergies, nickel, anything like that, this can exasperate. So be careful about that. But yeah, it is like a nickel brass alloy, and it's got an enamel inlay for inside.
Yeah, I'm used to people doing like the acrylic one, like the one for.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, we go to Sticker Mule for all this stuff. Sticker Mule is the crowdfunder's best friend when it comes.
Oh yeah, that's where the stickers I got are from Sticker Mule as well.
Now, what is this here? This is the yellow sign collector coin.
Mm-hmm.
Now crowdfunder people are going to say collector coin with my comic book, and then they're going to say, wait a minute. because they get bad vibes over that now, apparently. But
well, I have it in my hand. So it's an actual metal coin. It's not. There's no stickers on it. It's an actual a minted coin. So, and I'm not saying it's not like silver or gold. It's just a coin, metal coin, right? But yeah, but it's an actual stamped coin. There's no stickers on it or anything like that. But yeah, so it's real. It's there. It exists. It's not just a picture.
And you're not going to peel the sticker off of it.
Right. You can. There's no sticker there.
So the yellow sign. I guess this is the sigil of the Yellow King.
Yes, and she carries it with her. In the on Samantha Manage cover, you can see it in her hand, dangling from her hand, actually. But yeah, that's the what she carries with her. That's also part of her power, and that the yellow sign gives her powers from Carcosa, which are actually the King in Yellow's powers, which do things like insanity induction and reality bending and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's serious mind-altering powers there, which
yeah,
makes sense to have Lovecraftian character do that. You got the T-shirt here. This is the Isidora unisex comic logo shirt, $25. Probably goes up if I pick a higher size. I won't do it right there yet. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it goes up to 5XL, small to 5XL.
Yeah, I just didn't know if the price adjusted for that.
I kept that price the same. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. Every time I go to Amazon, I go up to 2X.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I have a friend of mine actually runs a printing company not that far from you. He's actually in St. Louis area, but he runs he has a printing shop and he does T-shirts, mugs, all that other stuff. So,
this is the PDF copy for $5. Right. You get the PDF sent to your phone, and this is an immediate fulfillment. It says you pay
Yep. If they go onto the site right now and buy that, it'll immediately give you a link and you can download a PDF.
Oh, download, not throw it into some other platform where it might go away if the platform goes away.
Right. No. It's a PDF that you can save on your hard drive.
We got another. This is different than the last one somehow.
Yeah, I got two sets of logos. The first one you showed is the logo. Well, this is the second one, but the first one was a logo that's on the comic book. When Jay was doing the collector's cards for me, we decided to do a redesign of the logo, and I'm like that. I think that I like the look of that for the title for the comic book. But this one, Reggie Blanco did this. This is the original logo design that Reggie Blanco did for me, and I still love it so much. I think it looks really good on merch. And it pops. I like the way it looks on T-shirts and stuff. And it's also the design for the little pendants. And on the hat, it looks really nice, too. So I decided to keep this original logo as well for people to pick up if they'd like.
And this is the comic book logo again here on the white T-shirt. Yeah. This is a women's tee. You can change the color if you want, black and white.
Right.
Which is just cut a little differently for people who want to fit a little curvier. And then you got the hat thing going here.
Yep.
Very nice.
Like I said, see, it looks that logo itself being embroidered just looks really nice on a hat. So I really, that's why I wanted to keep that one. And one of the people on my YouTube stream, I gave away a hat like when the campaign first started, and he has it. So one of those has been sent out to someone like about 3 months ago. So someone has it already.
Yeah, our original logo, I did some embroidered shirts, and it had this blasting effect behind the words, and it was like 18 different colors when it came down to embroidery, and it looked like crap. So the simpler you can make something to be embroidered, the better. And that was a good call on that one to get it down to just two to three colors there for that. So if anybody's wanting to pick up this book, we have the link for this pre-order store.
Yeah, it's through BackerKit. BackerKit helps with the fulfillment process for Kickstarters. So I signed up with BackerKit, and they're helping me do all the fulfillment. And part of it is a pre-order store for people to, if they missed the campaign and still want to, a la carte some items, they can pick it on. And people who did back it, everything is also an add-on. These are all add-ons as well for people who already backed it, and they can pick up additional stuff if they want as well.
Excellent. And we have the link to this right down in the description below. So go down there and click on that. Go pick out you'll get yourself a comic book, folks. That's what you came here for in the first place, right?
Yeah. Right. And if you do want to go to the original Kickstarter page, the link is on there. I do have the first 5 pages of it.
Where is the link? Oh, it's into the view of the campaign.
Right. Because there is the credits for the artists and everyone involved in it as well.
That's where I wanted to go next anyway, so I could... Oh, and we have video. We should play video, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's my little description of it. There's a trailer at the end of it, too.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Play.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lungaro, author of Fantasy Novel Soul of Magic Dawn, and I'm here to talk to you today about my new project, a comic book entitled Isidora and the Immortal Chains. Isidora and the Immortal Chains grew out of my enjoyment of the Lovecraft mythos and my love of comics. As an author, I've always wanted to tell a story in a visual format like comics. This world is something I like to call a Lovecraftian dark hero-verse, taking elements and the backdrop of the Lovecraft mythos and placing them into a superhero genre. Think Silver Surfer meets Constantine meets Lovecraft. The story revolves around a central character, Isidora, a 2,000-year-old woman from ancient Rome. She was taken from her world to serve as the herald to the King of Yellow, an aspect of the Great Old Ones. For the last 2,000 years, she has served as his herald and drawn hapless souls into the insanity and the realm of Carcosa. We find her now just as she has found a way to place her liege into a hibernation and is free to use her powers as she sees fit. This is an immortal woman looking to find her humanity and perhaps save mankind from itself in the process. Isidora and the Immortal Chains #1 is the first issue of the planned series, with 24 pages of the haunting art of Albert Deckel and Serkan Sarikaya. It also boasts 2 amazing variant covers by Samantha Branch and Mark Goldfine with Sarah Perryman on colors. We have 2 spectacular logo designs by Reggie Blanco and Jay Espen. Jay has also crafted 4 amazing trading card designs that will be part of this campaign, and stretch goals and possibly add-ons. Also, my story wasn't perfect, so Alexander Ernest provided the editing to make it a fantastic read. So I come to you guys today as a creator and a fellow comic book lover, and I've backed many projects myself on Kickstarter. So I want to give this project to you guys, and I want to be able to fulfill this and bring it to you and put it in your hands and make Isidora and the Immortal Chains a reality. The comic book is complete. There's no chance of this not being fulfilled. The penciling, coloring, and lettering are all complete, and it's all ready to go to be packaged and sent to the printers in order to get this book done. So what I'm asking today is basically to fund this project and send it to print and have it shipped out to you guys. The extended goals after that is to raise enough money to keep this project going and to get Isidora #2, 3, and 4 and all the other issues in this series out there and available for you guys to read and enjoy. I've already put over $3,000 of my own money in this project, and like I said, it's already done. We're not using these funds to create it. It's already there, ready to go, and send it shipping. So please, guys, if you find it in your hearts to help back this project, bring Isidora and the Immortal Chains to life, I will be eternally grateful for that. And please let your friends know, share this. Let everyone that you know that loves comic books and this kind of genre and stuff, let them know about this project so we can all enjoy Isidora and the Immortal Chains. Thank you guys so much.
Do monsters exist? Are nightmares real? They are more real than you know.
All right, and as you heard GA say in the trailer there, this is not only completed, but now it is also funded. So you're not, sitting there pinning your hopes on the thing getting completed when you pledge money to it. You're actually buying the book that is finished and being shipped out. GA, the one thing I always have trouble with Kickstarters with is remembering that they're going to take money out when the thing is funded.
Right.
This one having already been funded, if somebody were to give Kickstarter money now, is it an immediate takeout of funds at that point, or are they doing it at the point of shipping now?
Well, with this now in the pre-order store, it's not through Kickstarter, it's through BackerKit. They're the one that handles processing.
Third-party service.
Right, third-party service. Now with them, it's the same thing. I could set the date when it charges the cards, but I set the dates for later until all the orders were in, rather than making an early charge date on it. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to charge people at the end. They suggested too that's the best way to do it. So now, as a creator, it is kind of a pain sometimes because you got to chase down people. Sometimes people put the wrong credit card in, and it's not even their fault. They put a different credit card in. They didn't realize there's no funds on that one, and they got to switch it to another one. Stuff happens. Stuff like that. So it is a bit of a pain on my end, but I did it that way just so it's easier. So it'll just charge everyone at one time, just like Kickstarter does, and bring all the funds in.
Okay, so when is the end of the backer kit?
November 30th.
November 30th. So that's when everybody gets charged on November 30th. It's a month out.
Right. Right.
Don't wait a month for this, folks. You'll forget. I would.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Don't wait that long. And like I said, and that what that means is December 1st, I'm emailing everything to the printer. So, or Google driving it, if you will, to the printer.
Right.
So December 1st is going right to the printer. The printer I'm using is actually, it's not a big company. It's actually a small company here in the U.S., and it's a mom and pop kind of company. And another creator of mine has worked with them before. They actually do the hollow foil cards too. And he referred me to them. And Jimmy Reyes, who was on here too, someone else referred the same printer to him. We were both talking, and we didn't realize that the printer, two separate people had referred the same printer to each of us. So I'm like, hey, this is serendipity. This is good. That's two verified, people saying that they're good printing company. So they're going to do it for me, and they could usually get the turnaround time in 2 or 3 weeks. So I should have them all in my hands by Christmas.
And that's another cool thing about all this crowdfunding stuff is that not only are the publishers, independent folk, small businesses, but the people that you're going to use for supplies and for crafting are also going to be probably, if not local to you, at least domestic to you, because who wants to print overseas and pay for all that shipping again? Right.
Like I said, the T-shirts, if anyone gets the T-shirts, it's a guy I know that's in St. Louis that owns his own printing shop, and the books, the posters, the cards, it's all printed by a shop in the United States. It's a small business as well.
So if you like to shop small, back comics on crowdfunding.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have the page shared anymore. I'm going to back up there. This is the story which you were talking about. Born in ancient Pompeii, Isidora was to die in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. However, a chance encounter saved her from doom, replaced with eternal and supernatural servitude to the being known as the King in Yellow. Bound in the immortal chains to forever be his herald and keeper of the yellow sign, which is the coin that you can be the keeper of too if you pick that. Her mission to enrapture souls with the sign, souls to trap forever in dim, lost Arcosa. So she was a soul hunter. Now that can't.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine, were these souls that deserved it, or?
That's the thing. No, and this is the stuff I try to take from Lovecraftian, because the way the old ones and the Cthulhu's and all the beings people know in there, humanity to them are like insects are to us. They don't even care as what they are. It's us stepping on an anthill. That's how they look at humanity. So there's complete indifference to humanity. So for them, it was just a matter of souls. Souls are souls. They don't care who it is, good, bad, not, which is kind of the inspiration for what she does, because she was human and she decides, hold on, we shouldn't do this indiscriminately. And the reason why she keeps doing it too is because I also added another element to this that's not necessarily in Lovecraft, but I have kind of similar to like the Christian Holy Trinity. I decided to make these beings a duality, meaning you have the great old ones in their monstrous large forms, which are out there in the nether somewhere, either asleep or floating in space or sleeping away, or like Galactus. But they have a human version of themselves, which is called a duality, that has a lot of their powers, but is not quite as powerful as them. And so they have the same mind, but also operate differently. And these dualities are also kind of subject to human flaws and human emotions as well. So they have their dualities here on Earth doing stuff as well. So like the way I have it is, and I played off of this too, because people throughout the mythos, people would get confused, the King in Yellow and Hastur. Sometimes people think they're one and the same, then other people say no, they're not, and so people get messed up with that. So I decided to make the King in Yellow a duality of Hastur. So that way, that's how I'm playing it off with that. Yeah. So that's the interesting part I'm having this world. So I can have, because it'd be unrealistic for me to have her battling the great old ones, which in everything we read are just completely so powerful that no one can stop them. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have her battling like their duality, which is a little depowered from the great old ones, and poses more of a challenge rather than, it's seeming like this completely otherworldly battle.
About that, and I can't recall who it was. It was one of the greater science fiction writers of the past 50 years, where he talked about gods having aspects and attributes, and a person would become the same person, but if they put on their aspect and took on their attributes, then they were godded up a little bit.
Right. So I have these dualities, still because they are one and the same. Want to feed the souls to their other aspect, but at the same time, if that flow of souls just like stops abruptly, that could wake up the King in Yellow, even though she put him in his sleep, or it could even worse wake up Hastur. So she has to keep the flow going in some way. So so that's why she's like, well, let me just do it at least with the wicked, kind of a Dexter thing, right? Where he's like, well, if I want to be a killer, let me just at least kill other killers, So yeah. I'm scrolling past the people who built the book here, and there's a lot of people involved. This guy, and then there's Alfred Geckel, right?
Berkan Serkaya, Alessandro Ernest. So these are editors and colorists and interior artists.
Yeah. Alper and Serkaya is the sequential internal art and coloring, and Alexander was my editor.
And then the next page of people here, obviously Samantha Branch is alternate cover. Mark Goldfein, alternate cover, and then Sarah Perriman did she was cover colors for all. Which cover did she color?
For the Goldfein cover. Her and Mark are a team. She does coloring for Mark's covers.
Gotcha. And then here we have finally the interior artwork. Now we saw some of this animated here. That's kind of a fun process. I mean, do you have software that does that for you to?
Alper actually, or I should say, through Alper, Serkan actually did it. All he did was use Adobe After Effects. With Adobe After Effects, you could take his layers and they could make them move, and make it an animated book. So they gave me like a rough draft of it with the animation, and then I added some of the transition effects and voiceovers and stuff like that to it.
Yeah, I knew Neil Adams was involved with that motion comic kind of thing for a while there. They did a Watchmen motion comic, and it was very similar effect. Which probably all they did was After Effects on the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's funny though, because it's kind of a throwback, right? It kind of reminds me of those like was it the Johnny Quests or whatever those some of those like cardboard
those old the 60s the 60s Marvel comics.
Right. It was a 2-dimensional cardboard figure that would slide in.
Yeah. And then there was one, it was like a jet somebody, I think, or crash somebody. And it was a jet pilot. It was literally like the drawing of the guy's face, but they would superimpose a real person's lips on them, and he would talk.
Yes.
It was the creepiest thing in the world.
Yeah, but it was like, I remember that.
But I like the I can tell when you wrote this and when the drawings were done, because there's Comic-Con 2020 going on in the background. which already throws this into a world that never existed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, who knows? Maybe COVID was brought on by the great old ones.
The kind of thing they would do to drive us all crazy.
Yeah.
What would drive them crazy fastest? Lock them in with themselves.
Exactly.
Then do it for us. So this is all very cool looking artwork here. A very gritty kind of style. It's not for a cape story. It's not the kind of art you'd be. Now, of course, this is ancient.
Yeah.
I get this. Somebody's seeing modern day and past day in the same vision.
Right.
So he's obviously going nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. So is he going nuts, or is he seeing another world at the same time?
In these panels, I mean, I have it. It's her what's called the insanity induction. So she can create these constructs and visions in his mind to drive him insane. And if you think about it, like if any Lovecraft stories you've read, a lot of times the things they see, and it's so messed up. That's why I used in the trailer, I said, do monsters exist? They're more real than you think. Because there'll be times in Lovecraftian stuff where everything is a complete figment of insanity. They're seeing things just completely because of going insane, slowly going insane, right? But there's also real ones, and no one can really tell what's the difference, what's real, what's not real. You know what I mean? And I think that's even more terrifying in of itself. Am I really going crazy, which could be a possibility, or they could actually even be really in front of me, so you never know.
So just safest bet is to kill it all.
Right. So yeah, what's going on here? He thinks he sees that, but obviously in the next panel he doesn't. It's not there. He's killing her. So
that sucks to be him.
Yeah.
And of course, right underneath it, why am I doing this? Perfect placement of headers. Because I'm crazy now. So again, she's instructing him to do this. She's inducing the insanity.
Right.
Not a very heroic thing to do, because I'm just guessing that the girl he's stabbing probably didn't deserve to be stabbed to death.
Well, when you read the text, you'll see why. They were not, either of them were not very good people.
Oh, well, then that's fine.
Yeah, think like I said, Punisher too. It's that kind of transgressive character that ends justify the means, or bad people deserve to die, but good people deserve to be saved, kind of deal.
All right. Of course, here were all the tears, and this is all water under the bridge at this point.
Yeah.
Because everything you've seen here, you can still go over here and get on the pre-order store.
Correct.
There are no risks, there are no challenges. The book is done, funded. So
yeah, like I said, if someone just wants to test it out, let's say, take it for a spin drive, and just pay just $5 for a PDF copy, you can get that right now and read it. And if you like it, you can come back and get the physical copies.
Absolutely. And there, 3 different versions to come from. I'm guessing if you're going to package everything up into one thing. So if somebody said, "Give me this, this, and this,"
right,
in one box, and shipping will get calculated accordingly.
Exactly. Now, again, if you're a backer, there was shipping already for your package, and then if you get an add-on, if you're a backer, there's additional shipping because you're adding stuff on. But for everyone who wasn't a backer who's just going here, the shipping's already calculated, and it'll give you a flat shipping fee for everything together. I didn't do it by weight; I did it by items. So 1 to 5 is one shipping rate, 5 to 10 is one shipping rate. So based on how many items you get, then we'll just put them in a box and ship it out. Now,
I missed the. Does the post office still do that if it fits, it ships thing in that box? We could put
kind of. Yeah, but I'm not even using post office box. I ordered my own boxes from Uline.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't that expensive. They were like, I think they cost me like $1.50 each. Matter of fact, is domestic like people were like asked because I had a pretty high international shipping, and the main reason why I did is because A, with the pandemic going on, and B, with not knowing how many stuff people were getting, I couldn't even risk, if there was a lot of international backers, I couldn't risk losing my butt on international postage. But the domestic shippers, I made it a $5, like for just the regular comic books that are going to come in the Gemini mailers, I just made it flat $5 for that. And I'm probably not even going to use media mail. I'm probably going to use first class. So I'm actually going to be losing a couple dollars on each of those for that one.
Because I got paperbacks here that I still got to send out. We're a publisher.
Yeah, because first class postage, if it's like 1 or 2 books in a Gemini, it's around $7, I think. Right around there, domestically. So I'm gonna lose a couple dollars on there, but I do have more in international. So I mean, and the shipping and like I said, people got the bigger stuff. There's increased shipping on there because of the handling. I'm handling this very gently. I mean, like I said, people who got the collector's box, I have a plan for this too. I'll show it to you when it's all done if you want to see it. But the collector's box is going to have the Gemini mailer inside of it. Okay. And the Gemini mailer is actually going to be part of the box. It's going to be glued to the inside back of the box. And there's going to be a special covering put on the Gemini mailer. There's going to be magnets so you open it up. Once you open up this box, you open up that Gemini mailer, and there's going to be the stuff in there. There's going to be a page with the cards and everything. So all that's going to be in there inside this box. And the 8x10, if there's any 8x10 prints, they're going to go in here with it as well. Then this is going to go inside of the cardboard box from Uline. And if there's any 11x17 prints, the tubes are going to go in there with it. And then I'm going to have the paper batting in there or whatever, and then seal up that box and ship it. So I'm being extra careful. Now I am going to, like I said, just the single 1 or 2 issues, I'm just going to use the Gemini mailer and send those out as they are. But anyone who knows comics knows Gemini mailer is the best way to ship a comic book. So
standard shipment now,
right.
Especially for the one-on-one thing where you're sending directly to your reader.
Right.
Which begs the question, this is your first comic book crowdfunder, and you're still sending directly to the readers for this. But have you given any thought to how to get the book onto store shelves? Which is it's difficult to crowdfund for that. I know some people try to come up with retailer tiers, secret tiers where they'll say, "Hey, we'll give it to you for like 40%."
Right. The standard for retail is right around 55. Yeah. That's where the standard is. I mean, depending on people order, you can always you negotiate, if you will. But 55 is around the standard. Now, obviously, I'm not opposed. Any retailers want it, and talk to me. We'll do it. Right now, this being the first book, just being a 24-page floppy. Right now, I'm just trying to. What this is the most important thing about it is trying to build a fan base. Right, it's trying to get it out there into people's hands, get the name known. I mean, to me, if it takes me going through the whole series, going through the whole 4 or 5 books, wherever it is, and then getting to the graphic novel version of it before a retailer is chosen or picks it up, I'll wait if they want to. Again, not opposed to talking to them. I just right now, I'm more focused on just putting it in people's hands rather than chasing around retailers, especially with the pandemic. I mean, they're struggling as it is, and buying me little Joe Schmo's comic book is not high on their priority list right now.
Well, I know a lot of them are starting to look, especially my local comic shop is getting a lot more of the independent and crowdfunded books on its shelf because he's not having as much luck selling the Marvel and the DC stuff.
Gotcha.
But he'll put something that nobody's seen before, and he'll slap $25 on it, and he'll be like, "What is that thing back there? I've not seen that on shelf." Oh, this was a crowdfunder Kickstarter. Gimme itself. So being very, very
give him my number, RJ.
I'll do that. I'll hook him up. Cosmic Comics, Belleville, Illinois.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Oh, and this I'll show you this too. This is another little touch I'm putting on because I got Sticker Mule. Sticker Mule's awesome though, isn't it? I really love Sticker Mule. But I got the packaging tape for it too with the Rubicon Comics logo. So everything's going to be wrapped in the packaging tape as well when it goes out. It's like I know there's a lot of creators that are like, no, that money's all going to go just to make the books, get as as affordable printing as you can with quality, and then ship them out, and so the rest money can be used for whatever. I'm putting a lot of this money right back into this. You know what I mean? And I think, even though people think, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a piece of tape that people are going to cut open with a knife. I don't know. To me, it adds a personal touch. It adds a personal touch, an exclusivity. You know what I mean? It gives it a different feel. And if I'm trying to make customers, aside from the quality of the book itself, the writing and the art, obviously, which are important, I think all these personal touches say, hey, you know what? This creator cares about customers. He cares about giving them a good product, something that isn't just going to go in a bag in a box of 25 comic book boxes. You know, it's something you want to put on the shelf, something you want to display, even. You know.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, GA. This Samantha Branch cover here, if you can isolate the main character, sort of like the way I did here for the overlay, but more neatly trimmed than PowerPoint looks, because that's my thing. I think for your second campaign, that is something you should send off to Sticker Mule, either to get die cut stickers or again the die cut charm key change charms.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, I talked to Sam. I'm sure it's layered. She could easily probably, send it out to me without a background quite easily.
Because that's what we did. Now ours doesn't look like it's die cut because our logo's a circle, but this is our. We have a whole stack of these things, and we give them out to our viewers and our readers for the cost of a self-addressed stamped envelope. If you just put a stamp on an envelope, put your address on it. For all you young folks who don't know how the mail system works yet because you've been emailing it. Put a stamp on an envelope like you're going to mail it to yourself. Don't seal the envelope. Just fold it up, put it in another envelope, stamp it, and send it to us here at Critical Blast 1097 Prestwick Drive, Belleville, Illinois 62221. So that's 2 stamps. So I guess it technically costs you $1 these days now. And we will put 2 of these in the envelope that you send us and send it right back to you. So you don't pay for the stickers at all. And you get one, you can give one to a friend, or you can put them on both. Put them on 2 places. We don't care. Just stick them up somewhere. But people are taking real advantage of stickers. I'm like 53 years old, and I'm looking at campaigns. I'm like, look, come to the sticker.
I was giving, like I said, part of it leading up to this campaign on my YouTube channel, I was giving away stickers, and I'm going to be throwing these pretty much in every single one that I send. I have the 2 logos as a sticker.
That's cool
as well. So those are fun, and I got some I got holographic stickers from Sticker Mule for the logo for the Rubicon comics that I'm going to be putting on there and stuff too. So yeah, I'm having fun with this. You know, I mean, it's weird. It's like I take pleasure in packing all this stuff and putting it all together. Like even the cards. I got the collector's cards aren't just going to come thrown in there. I got the top loader cases for each of them. So all the cards are going to come packed in a case too. They're not going to be just thrown in there.
And packing and addressing stuff, there's such a zen aspect to it. It's just like you get into a rhythm and you just let your mind go. And then of course you look out and say, yeah, this is the address for, I'm one off on my address. You got to start digging back and see where you screwed up. And hope that it was like just the previous one.
With that, I got lucky because between me, my girlfriend, and my daughter, we all sit there and we make an assembly line. And that's what we do in my novel. And we check off everything, make sure everything's on there, goes from one person to the next, and then we seal it up and move it on out.
Yeah, and again, it's fun to do. And if you're not having fun doing it, why do it in the first place? If you're all in the chat looking for that super chat button, it's not there. So why am I doing this? Because I haven't done it. Obviously, we'll get there someday. We are halfway. We've got the sub count. We're halfway at the hours watched. We've got like something crazy number, like 4,000 hours watched. So, if you really want to help us out, just go to our channel, pick a playlist, mute it, drop it down, go to bed. Let it go.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I just got monetized 3 months ago, and my channel just turned a year. It'll turn a year in November.
Nicely done.
I hit the hours like 4 months before I hit the sub count. I was like, I had the hours done, but I was just waiting forever just to hit that 1,000. You know what I mean?
Really?
And I got so tired at the end. Literally, I just ran a giveaway. I did a giveaway for Star Wars Squadrons. And said, hey, you want to enter the giveaway? Follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and so forth, and you'll be entered.
Use Rafflecopter for that?
What was it called? No, it was called something else. Crap, I forgot the name of it now. There was another name, but it was really easy.
Yeah, all kinds of messages out there for that. We just gave away like the Back to the Future Ultimate Trilogy. We use Rafflecopter on our website. And again, you get to say, hey, tweet out a message so you can see the interaction on your Twitter, especially if you're smart enough to put your @ in the message that they're tweeting out. Visit us on Facebook. And of course, I've now added the one subscribe to our YouTube channel, which has helped drive it up.
Yeah.
We've been YouTubing for like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
We were monetized early on, and then YouTube changed the rules, and I wasn't doing anything with YouTube. I really just had the YouTube channel because I wanted to make sure that the brand was secured across all social media platforms.
Yeah.
I focused more on the website. But over this past year and a half now, as crowdfunding become a thing, we've done more and more of these streaming interviews with folks, and that's what's that's where the hours are at. People want to find out these crowdfunded comics. It's a heck of a lot easier than recording it and then typing it up into an article, because I would spend 3 hours doing that and getting nowhere.
It's challenging, I mean, I used to think about wanting to do like blogs and stuff like that, but it was like, and I'm a writer, right? I like to write, but I'm like, geez, that was like too much for me. I'm like, I just want to go on. I just want to go on YouTube. I just want to do live streams, and that's what I did mostly. I mean, I do a couple uploads, but most of them, it's mostly live streams. That's just how I do it.
Very few uploads. GA, has been cool having you on here talking about Isidora, and I definitely recommend the link below for people to get in there for that pre-order store. It's going on through November 30th. Robert, you're going to make me blush here now. Critical Blast and Sci-Fi for me are two great genre fiction outlets on the net. Criminal BuzzFeed and IS9 get the hits, and actual lovers of genre and sci-fi don't have 10 times more.
Nice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate all of our people in the chat. We would be nowhere without you. So guys, go hit that pre-order store. Pick yourself out a comic book, a real nice comic book there, and you'll have it probably, what do you think, January? You're going to start printing in December?
I mean, like I said, depending on, as long as there's no printing snafus or anything like that, I believe they told me to have a 2 to 3 week turnaround. So I should have them in my hands by Christmas, I would say. So I would say right after New Year's, I'll be shipping them out. So they'll be in January. Everyone should have them.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to wish you a very good night, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
When you get to second book, hopefully March, when you start kicking that off.
Hopefully. Alper's already asked me, did you start writing the second one yet? I go, listen, I got to do this fulfillment first, and then I'll write the next one.
Send them out, start writing, kick it off, and come back, and we'll have you on again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi. Thanks for stopping by for another Critical Blast video. Thanks for stopping by for another Critical Blast video. The internet is a big place, and we know there are lots of other places you could be other than here, and we appreciate you being here immensely. If you enjoyed this kind of content, we hope you'll return for more. If you click the subscribe button, you'll get a little notification of when we produce new video content. If you would like to help the channel out, there are many ways to do so. Just visiting our main hub, criticalblast.com, will do wonders. But if you're more of a show me the merchandise type of person, there are links in the description of this video to our t-shirt shop, as well as links to Amazon for the books we publish under the Critical Blast Publishing imprint, including the urban fantasy anthology Gods and Services and the YA superhero novel Bulletproof by Stephen J. Mitchell. Thanks again for visiting this video. We hope you had a blast.